Today, Noel and I were on one. We were talking about religion, all of our questions, our main issue with the majority of at least the Abrahamic faiths. And of course, I went to bat for Islam as much as I could while admitting where I have room to grow as a Muslim. It was a really cool talk. So let us know your thoughts, or if you have the information that we were looking for, please drop it in some comments. Thank you so much. Save myself, Mel. Bye. I
So
got nothing. I got.
okay. Well, let's freaking talk about like the topic that everybody is talking about right now, which is World War III. And like my algo, I was like telling my husband I had to like refresh my algo this morning because all I was getting yesterday is like nonstop. How do you survive this? Like when a nuclear weapon hits, like this. I'm like, I'm not. Bitch, if I see a nuclear weapon, I'm like running into it. I don't want to be part of those people that are just gonna be like trying to survive and start humanity. I'm not. I'm just not that person. I'm running straight into it. Just kill me. Just shoot me right now. I'm good. I'm ready to go. So it's kind of funny that I mean, not funny, but I know a lot of people are freaking out, but I'm not preparing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna die. So it is what it is. As you're yawning right now, that this is literally literally the level of fucks that you have left to give.
My favorite people are on the other side. I'm kind of like the
I
same
mean,
boat.
we die. I mean, I don't know what to tell you people, like okay. But yeah, no, it's really interesting. Like every time I'm seeing those videos, like preparation, what you need to do, and like go five, I don't know, feet under the ground or whatever. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. I'm running into it. I just want to like just die. Like just kill me now. I'm not gonna want to survive the aftermath. Not happening.
Of a nuclear situation. Yeah, of course. I mean, immediately I'm like, oh, let me apologize for laughing at very serious subjects and people are dying, blah blah. And I'm kind of like, I don't even have the apology in me right
You're
now.
exhausted.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Like it's almost like also annoying that people only think about these like end of world scenarios when it becomes the end of their world. But we've been watching, and for you, maybe living in some very near end of world scenarios, our home countries for so long that I'm like the perspective of like, oh my God, what if what happened in the movies happens to us? And it's like, we know so many people that that's happening to them. They are living in apocalypses right now.
Hmm.
Number
Hmm.
one, Gaza. And, and it's so I'm just kind of like, I don't know, if it happened to us, we do the same thing they do. Like I could talk
Everybody's
all the shit
doing.
I want. Nah,
No, we do exactly what they're doing. Whatever, like I guess it is what it is. But I do have to say, like, the more I think about it, I don't think any of like my day-to-day skills is like transferable for that time. Like, my job, I sit behind a computer, run Excel spreadsheets. I don't know how that helps anyone, and I don't know how to like my husband and I were like looking around in our backyard. You're just like, I guess we can like chop wood. We have a couple trees around. Like literally, we were talking about that. I was like,
I
I
guess we
don't
could
know.
chop wood. Yeah, you can hunt the alligator in your back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I would rather just die. So I'm okay with it. It is what it is. But it's just interesting how this
At
is my
my
whole algo
office,
now.
when I go to my like office in person, the last time I went, that's something I just asked every boss I saw, every person on my team. I didn't care. I asked the like president of the board. I was like, so in an apocalypse, like what's your first move? And it was really funny, like looking at people's responses because some of the people are way older than me, right? So they've lived through a lot more of like American history. And for them, they were like, well, if it's a nuclear one, I'm just gonna stand outside and wait to become a shadow. Like I'm not trying to live in that.
Hmm.
But then like even down to like zombie apocalypse, one person was like, I don't really know how to plan for a scenario I don't think is gonna happen. So I was like, okay, that's, fine. For me, I said, whatever the apocalypse is, I know I'm gonna like fight to protect people around me. But like I am a-okay taking the first chance I can to sacrifice myself, like to let everybody get away. 1 month in, it's gonna be, "Oh, yeah, Emma threw herself into the zombie horde so that everybody could get away." Because I wanna be done with it too. Like, I
Yeah.
don't wanna survive in a world that and I guess I can't speak, right, because I'm not in Gaza, for example. Like, I don't know that I wanna survive in an end of world. I don't
I agree. Like, I want to have like my showers at night. Like, I don't want to do this. I spend so much time on YouTube. I get groceries ordered to my house. Do you really? This is not me. I don't live in that world, and honestly, I'm not that attached to this world either. Like, I'm just here because, like, I guess, I mean, I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm doing the best I can in it. But if I had the option, I'm not struggling. I
That's
guess I
literally
already
the
did that. I mean, I came from Lebanon to where I had to struggle, so I'm already here. I'm not going back there. I'm not going back, not there, but doing that. So I'm good.
and literally all the videos we hear that I've seen in Gaza, not all, but like many of them are like, what is this? Like, I don't want to live without my family. I don't want to live in this world. And so, yeah, I think that would be me. But on the other hand, life finds a way. And we are programmed like biologically fight or flight, right? Like, so when you're in the moment of near death, you're probably going to fight to survive. You're not going to be like, yeah, all right, I'm ready,
Mm.
unless it's that choice of sacrifice. So, I'll see you in the apocalypse and we'll probably make each other laugh until we die, you know.
I will probably will stick together because that's what everybody. I mean, I don't know if that's what everybody's talking about. This is a conversation within my circle right now. My cousin called me. My husband is talking about it. I had friends, and I'm like, honestly, we'll just stick together. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, at least that's like the best I could tell people to just kind of help calm it down. But I'm like, honestly, we don't know. And if I don't know, I can't control the narrative right now. So I'm not spending time thinking about it. I'm just like keep acting like nothing is happening right now, at least in my head, in my day-to-day life. But aside from that, like when it happens, I guess we'll just stick together and we'll figure it out. And if I had really the option, I'll just die. So it is what it is.
Do you have a belief of afterlife? Like, I don't know if I've ever asked you what you think happens after we die.
That is such an interesting topic because I keep wanting to talk about religion here, but then I'm like, my God, that would take the whole hour.
We
No,
have
well,
50,
I can, yes, I can, we can make a 10-minute convo about that. I do believe that, well, I'm agnostic. Do you know the difference between agnostic and atheist? Okay. So
well,
for
no, say
someone
it for others.
who doesn't know, agnostic is someone who says that I don't know and I just don't know.
But you believe there's something bigger? Because I always thought the difference between atheist and agnostic was like agnostic believes that there is something bigger, but they don't know what it is and they're not going to label it. Like they're spiritual, but they're
Uh,
not bound by a religion.
Not well, the main definition is mainly, I don't know,
Okay.
but I don't know it could be I don't know either. I mean, can you Google it or I can Google it just okay. Um, but I just don't know,
But you're
but that's
right. It
what.
says a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or of anything beyond material phenomena. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God. Okay.
So that is for me because I don't believe that any of the religions that we are currently practicing make sense to me as like the ultimate truth. I think they probably are just like fighting between each other and like who has like the ultimate truth. They probably all are just like pointing at the same truth. But I
Uh,
do believe that there is something that has created this. It's not a god like we think about it as like someone who looks like Ariel from Disney's movie's dad, like with a big white long beard sitting on a throne, and like patriarchy. It could be a female version. It could be just non-gender. I don't even know what it is. It could be a light. It could be power. It could be just an energy. Whatever it is, like there is something that has created this, and there is a purpose of this because the way we move around, like us now doing this podcast, like we're doing it beyond just like entertainment, because we are thinkers. We're trying to figure things out. So I think there is a purpose. I don't believe in heaven and hell, or at least how it's like described as like you go to somewhere where like you're gonna burn for eternity because of all. I kind of on in that area, I believe like everybody is dealing with their own trauma, their upbringing. Like there is no, it's kind of unfair that people are born in different situations, in different religion, different households. Someone is born American while someone is born in Gaza. Like, am I gonna judge both of their lives the same and like how that person reacts versus that person? It's just like it's just so hard to make that judgment. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
with that said, I believe that even people did something bad, I don't think they're going to hell. That's why I believe more of like I would like justice on earth because I don't know what is afterwards. I'm not waiting. And I think that's something that calms people through religion that one day God will punish them and they'll go to hell. I don't think it's that personally. That's why I'm like, I would like the punishment now. Like I would like it within my lifetime to see it. But that's just kind of my belief. And I don't believe in heaven as like I'm just gonna go like sitting on clouds and like eating grapes with angels or whatever that picture that people fear, like ultimate joy and like the idea of actually being in an infinite, like living in this like infinite world that like and then what? Like I'm just okay, I'll just picture it for a second. Like we die, we were great people, we go up, and then what? We're just spirits like floating for eternity and doing what? Like it sounds too simplified for my brain. That's why I don't believe in it. I feel like there must be something. Like there is something. There's level two. Or we just all just die. I don't know, like pitch black, it's done. And we created this idea of religion to help people process life. The part about really, I'm going so off topic now between all of that, but this is like all the information I wanted to vomit about religion and my belief.
I
And the
should
other
have asked you this on Edible Day.
for real, and like the other part about religion that I it doesn't sit well with me is that I respect people who practice their religion as a tool or a sense to like find peace and like calm and whatnot. What triggers me is when people take it to the next extreme to start discriminate and I am better than you. I'm gonna go kill you in the name of my religion. This better than that, or I don't like your lifestyle because my religion told me this book, this chapter, blah blah blah, told me this and that. I don't know. This is just feels like
Israel circa 2025.
basically, basically, or any other religion. I mean, all the religions has done it at some point, like throughout their history. And that's my issue with religion. And like the whole traditions, not traditions, but it's like the customs that you have to do. Like who says like I can speak for Christianity. Like, who says, like, when I go to church for an hour, I have to, like, get up and sit down, like, 12 times of whatever those, when this is read or when this is that, or the same prayers repetitive. Like, Jesus never said any of that. And I argue with my family about this because I'm like, Jesus just said, you know, break bread and do this, like, for my memory. Like, like, just do it, like, uh, to remember me. And like we took it to another level. Like we built a whole church and churches and gold and I don't know. It's just the whole thing feels like man-made. And I see the same thing like with other religions too. Like even for Islam, I understand and I respect that. Okay, the Quran said, or like the Prophet Muhammad said, this is how I need to do it. You pray 5 times a day or what, but why 5 times? Why not 3 times? I mean, I know why, probably like, sunrise, sunset, this time, that time, but why?
I don't know. I do know one story that
The
I maybe
customs is what I kind of I'm like Why that?
from what I understand is like every time I go ask a question in Islam, there is an answer. I don't know all the questions or answers, but one that does confuse me is what you said because I think obviously I'm gonna mess this up really bad, but like supposedly God wanted us to pray like 50 times a day or something, or like whatever. I don't know how many times a day. And that I think it was Moses, one of the prophets, peace be upon him, spoke to God and was like, "That's a little OD. Can we lessen the amount of prayer you're asking of people?" And God was like, "Got you." And then they changed it to 5, and that was the negotiation. And one question that brought up for me, not insulting Islam, I am a Muslim, just for that person who's gonna comment this, maybe you can offer that information is like it made me feel like it personified God, right? Like, what do you mean God negotiated with a prophet?
That's true. So this is what I was thinking too, because I do have, and the other thing that I have an issue with, which relates to that, is that the way some religion portray that relationship with God as if it gives this egotistical
Mhm. God needs to be talked
that
to all
I
day, be
you
worshipped
need to
all night.
worship me, like you really need you really need to create me to worship you? Like, are you this narcissist? I just don't think this is the relationship he needs. I think us humans created it through our religious, books that we've followed to kind of create some structures for people. And maybe those structures were necessary back in the day, but like now, I don't know if I don't know, it just feels weird that I would worship a God who is requiring me to worship him.
So that's one thing that I question too. Is like it's again the personified things that are less than about being human. God gets angry when
Mm.
this, or God will like punish you and then forgive you, like, or even God loves you, right? More than your mother, more than anybody ever could. And so, like, when we personify, it makes it a little less than godly for me.
100%.
And I'm just, that's what could, and again, astaghfirullah al like, I'm just trying to understand
Understand?
is like, those are my questions. But if I really wanted to understand, the knowledge is there. And like I said, every time I have gone to go understand, the answer has been there. For example, the conversations we have about like women's rights in Islam, when you look into it, you find it's like one of the leading religions that gives rights to women. So like I do think the answer is there, and I have not taken the initiative to go look for it. But I'm with you. These are the things that give me most pause. Is like, what do you mean God is mad at me? Like, I don't buy that.
It's what is the opposite of magnifying? It's like
Min- uh, Minimizing, reductive,
minimizing God to a place where like you're just like a human. Like you're feeling what a human feels, which is you get angry at us and then you send tornadoes to kill us all. Or someday you're like happy with us and like you kick us out of like the because Eve ate an apple, or it just
and
seems
then there's like,
absurd.
thousands of years of humans who are suffering for that. It does feel like a bit of an overreaction, So again, God forgive me. These are just questions. And I believe my God, like the God I believe in, would not make me suffer for these questions. Whereas I know there are many that are the reason I keep saying stuff, but Allah, God forgive me, is just because I'm like, ugh, there's people hearing this and going, blasphemy, blasphemy. And I'm like, no, mother, this is a question. This is a doubt, and I should be able to find the answer in my book.
One of my best things, I say best things, one of the best videos that I've seen, um, gosh, I just want to find it really
Yeah, can you screen share? I mean, I feel like we should play it. I was watching like the Theo Vaughn podcast, and I really liked how like there was guests there, and every time they like had a question about something, they pulled up like the Google search on the screen and they just shared it instead of like popping it in later.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Noel Sadawi? I think I sent it to you. No.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So Noel Sadawi is here. I'm gonna share my screen really quick.
Okay.
See that?
Mhm.
Okay. Nawal Saadawi, she's an Egyptian writer that died in 2021, 89 years old.
Oh, I remember this
Uh,
video. Yes.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. She was always progressive and she always challenged religion. And being a woman in the Middle East, always like challenging and like woman empowerment and all of that. What I love about her in one of the interviews, she said, if religion is interpreted by people, I'm allowed to question this interpretation. So when you tell me, like you were just saying, someone come and explain the Quran for you or the Bible for me, if I can't read it and just understand it, I need you to explain it to me. I have the right to question that explanation because you could be explaining something wrong to me. And it
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter if you're a priest or a sheikh or whoever, you could be doing mistakes too with that explanation. So there is a reason why. So back to what you're saying is that it's okay to question because if it's not interpreted, I need someone, a median in between to explain it to me, then I have the right as well to question it. I just love that part. I love her. We could have a whole episode about her because she's just amazing. She is so underrated, and I think more people should know about her. But back to religion, I have so many questions on a lot of why do we do things the way we do it? Why do we think this is the only way it's done? One of the biggest things I remember when I was a kid, we had a sister. Before I was born, my mom had a like my sister, I guess. She was born, she lived only for 1 week and she passed
Oh, I'm sorry.
because because she was born without like a kidney or something, like one of the organs were not formed or whatever. So it was like horrible time for my mom. But then one day I was like 9 years old. I remember like going to this priest and I was like, what happened to my sister? And then he was like, she went to heaven. I'm like, wait, why did she go to heaven? And he's like, well, because she didn't get to sin or she didn't do anything, so her soul just automatically go to heaven. I'm like, well, that's kind of unfair. I was like, I wish I died within 1 week. Why do I have to do 80 years of this life and try to prove that I'm not sinning to deserve it? And she just gets to go there by herself. And he's like, oh, you can't think about it that way. I'm like, but why not? Like, if the goal is for me to just go to heaven, like, then, and I know it's sad that she wasn't living here, I guess, on this earth, but isn't that the, like, so those things don't make sense to me. Like, am I going to heaven? Like, that goes back to your question about heaven and afterlife. Like, I have those questions that are kind of not making sense to be answered to me, that it feels like I don't know if they know, but that's why I say I don't know. It could be all right, and just my brain can't comprehend it. It could be all wrong, and I just don't know. But in my heart, I need to be convinced to follow, and I don't go by just faith. I don't just do like you just have to believe, but I don't believe it. Like I can, and I lied my whole life. Like first 20 years of my life, I used to lie and tell people in my around me that I believe. Like I go to church and I'm like praying, but I'm like literally like, are you guys done? Are you guys done? Like that was literally my life. Like, and then I catch myself and I was like, no, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Like it was like a fear relationship with God for me that like, oh, how dare I just do that? Until like one day I'm like, I started leaking. I started to have questions, and then I'm like, so I'm still okay. I remember at 20 years old when I told my mom, like I was like questioning all of that, and then my mom thought like I'm just gonna the what do you call it, like when you have devil just like you become a host for the devil or whatever, you know what I'm
Okay,
talking about?
possessed.
Possessed. That's what my mom thought, like because that's what she was taught too. Like if you step away from religion, you're gonna be possessed. Because like, and then 7 years later, when my mom was like visiting her, yes, was like, I'm still not possessed. Like still waiting. And I remember her like not liking that comment because she was like, I guess people who are not religious, they're not bad. You don't need religion to be a good
Remember our
human.
conversation earlier? Like how you were like, "Oh, when am I just gonna wake up one day and not be gay and repent?" That's what it is. You're being possessed. That's why you're gay. That's
That's what
the
it is.
answer.
Here you
Yes,
go. Here
that's
you
what
go.
it is.
I
Yeah,
think we figured it out.
we did. Call that person and let them know you will
Yup.
repent once you get
Yup.
rid of it.
Yep. Yep.
But I'm definitely I feel a little comfortable in my ignorance, I think, because I cherry pick with Islam, like a lot of people do. I mean, we cherry pick with everything, but like that doesn't make it okay. But I cherry pick and I'm like, I like women's rights. I like how reading this specific passage made me feel. I like the idea that the more good I do in my mom's name, closer she'll get to whatever this heaven is. Like there are certain things that I think the way that I look at it is if it makes me feel better, which is what you said, right? Like if spiritually it gets me through the day, then I have no reason to walk away from this. And I am a little like, I don't know if the word is cocky or whatever. Like I brag a little bit about Islam because I think the history is a little less flawed than other religions that have been like changed or altered depending on who was in power and saints created or not created. You know what I mean? Like books have been rewritten. And I think the thing that I have not heard refuted about the Quran is that it hasn't been rewritten. It is exactly the same as it was. And so, yeah, people might have different interpretations of it or schools of thought or who the prophet's friends were or whatever. But like the book itself is still kept. So I think just based on that alone, and then the fact that I feel better every time I pray, or that every time I do talk to God, good things happen. You know, even simple things. Like, I remember when I was acting the first couple of years and I just couldn't land a role on television. And I remember the first one I got was like The Enemy Within, right? And it was barely speaking role. And I remember like talking to God that night and then saying, like, I don't even remember if really if it was for the enemy within, but I remember talking to God and saying, please give me this one. Like, please just, I can't do it anymore. And I never like to talk to God because I'm like, people in Gaza need to talk to God. You know, like, like people that are on channels need to talk to God. Like, let me save it for them. And then, like, the next day I got the call and I was like, that's nice. Like, I booked it the next day. And like, that has happened so many times that whenever I have called to God, He has answered.
Hmm.
So I don't know what it is. It could be universe, could be energy, could be like all of these things. But I like to couch my comfort in that faith. It feels good. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you in the doubt of like, but what about this? But what about that?
So that part that you just mentioned about talking to God and God responding, that is another person like personification for me. That's how
Personification.
yes, because I have experienced something similar to that, but I just call it manifestation. And what I like about manifestation, it gives more, it gives me more the power and the universe rather than this just God who's picking and choosing to like give you the acting role.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have time to give Amal the acting role, and then there's people in Gaza dying. You can go and freaking save them.
It's
Where
very
are
valid.
you? This is what that so that's why I truly in my heart believe that God does not interfere if there is a God, but whoever that God or whatever it is. I in my heart believe that he, she, they don't interfere because I cannot fathom that they would pick and choose when they would interfere with kids just born 2, 3 years old with cancer, not doing anything about it. But then you decide to interfere with some like this girl I saw posted something on Instagram that that day she was going on a hike and she brought soap and bandage with her and then she slipped and like cut her leg and she's like God told me today to just bring that soap and bandage. I was like, people dying in Gaza. Do you really think God is like, bring the bandage, bring the bandage and soap, or he couldn't just like move that rock out of your freaking way so you don't actually like slip and like cut yourself? Like, wouldn't that make more sense? But this is how I hear it in my head. This is how I see it in my head. I know this is gonna upset a lot of people because a lot of people when they're in it, like they don't, but I am genuinely open. Like I like to have those conversations with people because again, I'm not claiming it is wrong. I'm
Mhm.
just arguing what my brain is not comprehending. And I'm like, this makes no sense that God that day was so focused on giving her the bandage and like he's not working on the people in Gaza. Like how does that even make any sense? Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, or the
All
people in
all
Congo or
powerful, all
Sudan.
loving God. All loving God.
So I watched a lot of videos about this during Ramadan, right? Because the imams or like whatever the sheikhs are charged with answering these questions for us. Like, why are we witnessing so much suffering? And I always go back to since the beginning of time until the end of time, there will be suffering, right? So that goes to what you said about like God's job is not to interfere, it is to let us take the test. So I do think like what you said is echoed in my religion, I think. But I
A lot of people pray for God to help them, or because like in Arabic, I hear like a lot of time like rizqni, which is like you know what rizqa is like
notice.
rizq. Yani
Yeah, I heard that word.
it's like
Uh,
giving. It's like to give you with a job, to give you the it's like bless you with the
it
financial.
refers to the
Yeah.
concept of provision or sustenance, encompassing all forms of blessings and resources that Allah provides for his creation. It's not limited to material wealth like money, but also includes intangible blessings such as health, knowledge, opportunities, and even spiritual well being.
So
Risk is everything that sustains a person in life.
so I pray for him to يرزقني in this and that. And why is he not يرزق someone else? Like that person who is actually in need. Like it's just, I don't know. This is why I 100% in my heart believe that God does not interfere.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
This
he does
world
not
just was
interfere.
just created millions of years ago. We just evolved, and then we're just gonna keep going species after species. But I do believe that there is something after this, but it's not what we've been told about heaven and hell. And for me, I live every day like that shift. That's another argument that I always have with people who tell me like, but if you find Christianity or you find Islam, like, or you would be happy. I am happy. Like my life is like I am okay in my life. I was in a religion and I wasn't happy because the way religion was constructed to me was a lot of based on fear of like do this, do this, do that. And I just don't understand why is this important for that God to give me or to save me afterwards or to deserve where I need to go afterwards. What I do like every day, I'm just a good person. Like I just do good and don't hurt other people and just live my life because I want people to treat me the same. Like it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, no, first of all, I think I'm sorry for, in general, obviously I didn't do it to you, but I'm sorry for the people that have ruined like the subject of God for you because it sits there like that. It's not just doubt that you have, there is resentment, there is something more. It is a negative feeling that you have that I'm picking up. I could be wrong, but I'm just mirroring what I'm seeing. Your questions are valid. I have the same questions. But for mine, like I'm noticing that I'm asking like, yeah, why is this? Why is that? I don't understand, but I know the answer's there. And that's because I'm sitting in that faith, right? And experience in my religion, regardless of those voices that tried to do the same thing to me, like he's gonna hang you by your titties and burn you for eternity because you had premarital sex. No, no, that's not what I'm gonna believe.
That's actually true. They're gonna hang you by your
I
titties.
think there was a verse that I saw that
Sorry.
said something like that,
I'm
but like I
sorry, but
really,
that sounds
I'm
like
telling you,
extreme. This is very like it's just
it is. It's very fear based and it pushes people away in a way that like sometimes is irreversible. And so that's why I say it's really important for me not to just cherry pick, like, you know what, as I'm growing my relationship with Islam, I'm like choosing what heals me and makes me feel good. And I haven't seen stuff since I've been an adult that I've been like, fuck that. I've only seen, so God negotiated? I don't really get that. Let me go talk to an expert. But from you, I'm hearing hurt. I'm hearing almost like the residual of if I could put words to it, like, you don't matter. You have to serve this thing that you haven't seen, and you have to act right. And who you are, your thoughts, your feelings inside, they piss that thing, that other being off. Cannot, and it's like hide, 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 or serve, 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 serve. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, where is the love coming? I don't feel like you got a lot of the love part.
I agree with you, and we might have different experiences because I don't know if you grew up like very in the religion. When that's how it is when you're in a religion. Like like when you grow up in it, and I've
Yeah.
talked with people who are like Muslims in Lebanon or Christians in Lebanon, not just Lebanon, like even in the US. There's when you're like you grew up in it as a kid and like you do this because of that, you like it's very like in Arabic even like even for Islam, like you say you know khaf Allah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but it's like but this is very embedded in like the relationship is to fear, like fear
No, I think you're
God.
100% right about that. Like I said, when I was a kid, it was these images of you're going to be hung upside down by your titties in fire. Like, that's terrifying. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't even know what verse that's from. And this is where I tell you, like, I differ, and I know I differ because I might be like more spiritual, but Muslim. Because I say, like, to you, like, I have someone in my life that has said to me, be with someone who fears God and acts good because they fear God. And I think we talked about this. And I was
Hmm.
like, no, I want the person to be good because they love God or
Hmm.
because they love humans. I don't want this person to behave out of a fear because you know what could happen overnight? They could lose their faith in God. And now what? They're not going to treat me right.
They're not a good person.
They're not a good person because they're
Yeah.
not doing it on their own,
Yeah.
like from their heart. And
Yeah.
so I do hear that often, and I hate it. And I
Hmm.
wish like it wasn't you should be afraid of God. Like, no, you should want to be in that light. You should want, like, why are we
Yeah.
speaking to the negative and not the affirmative?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I'm
I
with you.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I think at the end of the day, this is what agnostic is. I don't know. And I truly respect everyone's beliefs because I think we all don't fully know, but each person is like found something somewhere with that religion. And if that makes you feel good, I'm so happy for you. Just
As
don't
long as it
use it
doesn't call
against
on
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it doesn't call on you to genocide me,
Yes.
you could practice anything you want. Uh,
Yes. Yes. And I could be very, like I truly admit that I don't know because I could be wrong too. I just have not found an answer that makes sense to me. The
you know,
closest that I found is honestly Buddhism because Buddhism is more not about a god to be worshipped. It's about more how I live my life is that you should be a good human being because you like beyond the materialistic and to help others and you will find happiness by helping others because when you help someone, you know, it brings you that joy and that's the meaning of life. I just love that concept because it's beyond worshiping a higher being. It's more on the ground, just be for the
yeah, like
people and let them be.
self-actualization.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't focus on material. Like it's not that important. It's for you to use and not for you to follow and that all of that. So it's kind of I am the closest to that. And honestly, I have not dived into it, but I was recently telling my mom, I was like, maybe that would be something that actually would make sense to me. And maybe I am Buddhist and I don't know. Like maybe that's what I'm living and I don't know. It's just the idea of like an all being that I need to worship. It's just not making sense to me, especially if that all being is like almighty, all powerful, all loving. You don't need me. You're not gonna care about Noel living here, like he worships me or not. Like I don't even get it. Like my brain is too small to understand all of that. So in my head, like you created this universe. You really have time to focus on me if I'm like I'm still a good person. So If you're judging me at the end of the day, if there's a heaven, I'm going to heaven. I know that for fact. And if not, to be honest with you, I don't even want to be with those people. Then send me to hell. Like, what kind of system that being created
You're gonna
that
project manage heaven.
that's yeah, like someone like me that is like not deserving to go to heaven because I didn't worship you because I wasn't convinced. Why did you create me a free thinker?
You know
It's
what?
just
Actually, that was the first thing that
like the
that was
game
the
is
first
is
thing
too
that
much.
now.
It's just like the game feels too much. Like, why do you create me a free thinker and then you're gonna judge me for free thinking or questioning or just like not be convinced? Ha! Like I caught you. You didn't think what I told you to think, but then I sent you prophets or like my son for Christianity, and then you still didn't believe him. I'm like, why are you complicated? Like, why don't you just like show up and tell me here are the rules. This is how this system works, and like that's it. Period. Like, don't
Hmm.
do 700 religions.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is me just going way over, but
No, I'm actually Googling who negotiated, like which prophet negotiated. I really want to know. The prophet, it was actually the prophet Muhammad who negotiated with God to reduce the number of daily prayers from 50 to 5. God instructed the prophet to have his followers pray 50 times a day. However, the prophet, guided by prophet Moses, repeatedly returned to God to request a reduction, ultimately leading to 5 a day. I just wanted to fix that.
this very personifies it for me. Like negotiation.
Look, I don't know. Like, the prophet guided by Moses returned to God and requested. I didn't even know they were alive at the same time. Is that what that means?
No. Moses
The
was way
prophet guided
before
by Moses.
Jesus.
Oh, did he come to him in a dream or something? Okay, whatever, man. I don't know. The prophet guided by Moses returned to God and requested a reduction. God reduced the number of prayers to 45, then 40, and so on until it reached 5. The reason that makes me feel like doubt is because like of the reason I thought of it just now is because you said all knowing, all this, all, and so I'm like, but how did God, all knowing of the future and the past and the whatever, not know that he was going to, unless this was part of the test for the prophets to like to speak for the people kind of thing, right? Which goes back to what you said, like, why are we playing these games? Like, why
Yep.
are we doing this? Right? I understand. I
It
totally,
sounds to me that it's a human thing. Like
yeah.
humans are creating this because this is how much our brain can grasp, and it's easy to just simplify it.
I want to look more
I
into it.
still think there is beauty in every religion, but that's why I prefer honestly, everybody picks and choose. So I don't think even you picking and choosing, but you're picking and choosing, I think, the good things, and most people are picking and choosing with the intention to like hurt someone else. Like I pick to judge you, and you're picking to help your to make your life better. That's what I
Yeah.
think I prefer. Because
Yeah, like
I
any
still
sin
pick
I have.
things from religions, like even Christianity, even though I practice it, but there's still verses from the Bible or like little stories that Jesus has said or whatnot that I'm like, it's a good lesson, and I still practice it in my life.
Yeah, I mean, they could all just be parables, like meant to just give us lessons, and even the act of worshiping or gratitude could just be because of the benefits of gratitude, right? Even the prayer that is like, at least in Islam, that is yoga like, has benefits to the body, right?
Uh-huh.
So like even fasting benefits the body. So there's so many things we later found like science backed, like the practices that we have on a healthy and mental, like body health and spiritual mental level. So maybe these aren't stories that get us to act in a way that is most healthy. I don't know.
Think a lot of those stories were good for the time that were created because how else people will learn? We don't live in that world right now, but I do think that we evolved as humans now. That's just my belief.
Not to blow ourselves up nuclear bombs all over the place. We have
Exactly.
not evolved.
Well,
I
that's
feel like
true.
we've regressed.
But I think we have tools that I mean, I'm sorry, but I see a lot of Christians that are like pro-Zionist and like you can't convince me that you are a true Christian when like you're like, yeah, let's go kill them, like da da da, da, go kill those Palestinians, and then you go back to church on Sunday and like God is like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you came back. Yes, let's
Wait,
do this."
did you
Or
see the video of the bunkers in Israel? You know how they have bunkers to protect themselves against bombs, and it was like they were Zionists in the bunker, but because they were Christian Zionists and not Jewish Zionists, they kicked them out
oh
of the
my
bunker.
God.
So it's not just Arab and Palestinians that are getting kicked out of the bunkers that are in Israel, but like basically it's the ethno state rules.
But do you see that? You know what I mean? Like
I
even like
do.
right now, like even right now with Iran and like I'll see a lot of like, Muslims like, oh, in the name of Muhammad, like in the comments, like they're excited, like Iran is gonna bomb Israel and da da da. I'm like in my head too, I'm like, is this what Islam is about? Like that's not what Islam is about either. You know what I mean? Like
If it was for
one
Islam,
even like for so many different reasons, but one, you have Israeli citizens who are living there that are against it. It's like how you have people here that are against, Trump and they're still living here and like, what am I gonna do? Like people voted, whatever. I'm just trying to survive this dude. Same thing over there. Second, you have Arab Palestinians who actually were naturalized within Israel that are living there that I see them because I read Arabic. Like I see commenting from within saying because we were like, we're just checking on you guys, and Tel Aviv was like, it's free, like we're freaking out because they're actual Palestinian. Just anyway, like I'm just saying aside, but they're still Muslims living there, and like you're excited about it. It's just like when you use that religion as like, let's go to war in the name of religion, it's just like you lost me. You
not
lost
just
me.
that, but if they were doing it for like Islamic purposes, maybe they would have done it 600 days ago, right?
Mm,
Like, this is not for religion. This is not for anything. This is just because you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. But you hit my neighbor, my fellow Muslim, my fellow Christian over in Gaza, like every religion exists there. They don't care. So, and what I did actually, one thing I'll say that I did appreciate is that, like, I think Iran tweeted to the people of Qatar and said, like, sorry for attacking, like, our Muslim brothers or whatever in Qatar, but we were just, our only enemies are Israel and America. But, like, sorry that we attacked your land, kind of thing, since they
yeah.
bombed Qatar. Which I did
I mean,
appreciate that. Like if religion is gonna be used, my point is if religion is gonna be used, I want it to be used that way. Like hey, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm trying to fight the military bases on your land. Sorry about that, brother. And I'm like, yeah, Islam. But this way, like, yeah, the Prophet Muhammad would be proud to have bloodshed of innocents. Like, there's babies in Israel. Like, there's babies.
yeah,
Like, there's innocent men and women, like you said. And not only that, but like, it really bothers me. Like, I understand everybody wants Israel to get a taste of their own medicine, which they will not. But I also feel like it's still that land, that holy land that is being bombed. It is still the land that suffers. So if you care at all about the land, then I don't care who erected new buildings and put fake trees in it. It's still my land. So I don't want it being fucking bombed.
I agree. I agree. But that's why for me, in any country in the world, that's the biggest beef that I have with religion is I don't mind living in a Muslim country, like Muslim dominated country. I just don't want to live in an Islamic system country.
I hear you.
Same thing with Christian, same thing with Jewish, because I come from that system and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I have, like we talked about this, I have a lot of people in Lebanon who a Christian want to marry a Muslim and they can't because the system is not created for that. One of them has to convert, even though they might be good. And then a lot of them, they go to Cyprus, they get married, they come back, register in Lebanon, and they live their life. And then they raise their kids on both Christianity and Islam because they're like, we like them both. We both come from those culture, and like that's just my build. Like you don't need to change for me. Anyway, like I like that, but what I don't want a state that is ruled by religion. I want that separation because religion is faith, the law is the law.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that's why our founding fathers in America escaped to America in the first place. Like
of
separation.
religion, yes, which
Yes.
is the biggest argument that I have with most people because it's a Christian. It is not. I freaking had to study it for my citizenship. Maybe you should all study it for your citizenship. Is that freedom of religion? And I have the right to practice any religion or no religion at all. Like literally, that was one of the 100 questions that I had to like study for the test. Um, anyway. Here we are. Religion. We're done. We said
That
15
that was a good
minutes.
10 minutes.
That was the longest 10 minutes, but we can go on because I could go on. I love this topic because I'm genuinely curious about it. We can keep going on, but here we are. We
Yeah,
talked
I do
war, we
want to
talked
revisit
religion.
like some of the things we talked about today because I don't think it's okay to for me the way I would have my religion. Like if I'm gonna keep saying I'm Muslim, like I said, everything I'm learning about it when I investigate myself, I'm falling more and more in love with it every day. But I think it's really important that if I'm gonna say this is my identity and this is what I believe, to actually say what is it that I doubt and keep going for the answers until it makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then that's a problem. Like I'm not the kind of person who's just gonna follow blindly. It has to make sense. So this was a great conversation for me anyway, because I don't want to just be like, yeah, this is a doubt I have and I've had forever. And I just never really like memorized the answer that
I'm
made
just gonna
sense to
brush it off and like move on with my life. Yeah.
me. No.
And I think this is where I'm at too, where like it has to make sense to me, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I still like nostalgically, like I love celebrating Christmas. I love celebrating like Ramadan. I love celebrating Hanukkah. Like there's those religious holidays and the traditions and like the love and the giving and the thinking and like that is what that holiday is about. I love it. It just gives me that moment in my year to kind of stop and refresh. Like I like the fasting, but I don't do it because I'm told I have to. I do it because it's just part of the experience. Like, you know what it's not like God is giving me good points and like I'm just like counting. Like it's just not that. I do think it's like meditation or yoga. Like people use whichever tool and whatever works for you. Don't do a meditation and come tell me I'm stupid for like practicing a religion. That's kind of how I feel about it.
So yeah, let's keep talking religion. That's it.
Yeah.
This is a religious podcast.
Yes.
We're changing the aim of this podcast. It's going to be investigating all religions.
I have something to end it with. It's a debate in our household yesterday because we were arguing about it. Do you believe that, or not do you believe, what would you do if you use a knife to cut bread, just a loaf of bread? Do you wash that knife or do you just put it back because it's clean? It was just bread.
Know already what your answer is based on how you asked the question.
Okay.
I just rinse it underwater. I don't put like soap and sponge. I'll just rinse it, dry it, and put it.
Okay. Do you just like quick wash?
Yeah. And I think just because in my mind I know that it like went through something and normally when I cut bread, like there is like there's something you see, like a swipe on the
Yep.
knife or
Yep.
something. But it sounds like you are like, it's useless, it's a waste of time.
It
Why?
is. It is. So my husband and I were arguing about it because it bothers him so much that we have like a knife that I just like cut bread with and I just like just put it back there. And he's like, no, like there's bacteria. And he is right. I Googled it and then I guess there's like whatever sugar, whatever is on like I'm saying it's not like when you use butter to put on the bread or whatnot. That's obviously like now it needs to be cleaned, but it's just bread. It's clean. I'm not
I
washing it.
see you have a big problem with this.
I'm not washing it. It's a clean knife. Okay. Just curious
Now I'm
what
gonna
what
ask
you do.
everybody I know, and they're like, "Why are you talking about knives?" I don't know. It's what's on my mind today.
I bet you there's a lot of people do that, but they probably just don't admit it.
What did your mom say?
My mom didn't say anything, but my mother-in-law, she was saying she was shaking her head. She was like, "You need to wash it." I'm like, "Whatever, you guys. I'm just like on a different place. We're not
Yeah, they're
washing
on
it."
a team.
Yes, yes, a team wash.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll wrap it up. That was a good convo. I
It
feel
was
good.
actually. Yes.
We could drag it as long as we want with religion. So I know we can do more of those episodes down the road. Maybe if we have more answers, we can talk about it. I hope that we get some more engagement on it because I'm curious like what people think. Don't come at us. Just respectfully share your opinion because no one is claiming that they know. So that's it.
Yeah. If they got to that part, they probably got to the part that triggered them and then just went off on
Yeah,
ranting. They never even got to this
yeah.
part.
Pause the
Um,
video, comment.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we could start putting in special edits like that when we have an actual editor. Like before you get triggered, make sure you get to second 58, wait for
That
the
actually is
disclaimer.
good. Take that clip, add it to the first of the video, and then you're like, and let's go.
Yes, yeah. It's whatever, man.
Yeah,
It'll be fun for us to talk about.
it will be. It will be. All right. Well, that's a
Okay.
wrap. We'll talk again next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, please consider leaving a comment and a review. It helps us improve and reach more people.
We're all just trying to figure it out one conversation at a time. So go easy on yourself, trust the process, and remember, it's okay, Habibi.